Welcome back to another episode of Building This Ultra 4 Jeep. So I went ahead and did a bunch of sheet metal work and I didn't film it. It burns up a ton of time, but I saved the passenger side firewall and the floor, and then we have the rear firewall to do, and we have the sheet metal to do underneath the seats. That stuff I will film. There was a certain way I wanted to build the sheet metal in this, and I wasn't sure how long it was going to take, and it burned up a bunch of time. I actually ended up taking a week off of even working on it completely, and then I put about 3 or 4 days into the firewall and the floor, got it how I want it, figured out a system that's going to work really good, and I'll show you guys that. But I'm going to save the firewall for the passenger and the floor, like I said, and I will film that stuff so you guys can see. So the cowling floorboards are in, the firewall is to right there at this time. Driver's side floorboard is sitting in here with just a couple bolts. It's got everything mocked up in there right now. Got a heel pocket for my heel to rest when my foot's not on the brake. And then my foot rests up on that exhaust box right there. No, it doesn't get hot. I've raced this rig a lot with it. It's fine. Firewall on this side is all done. And we gained a bunch of room in here for these hoses too, which is pretty cool because the old firewall used to be right here and it came down like this and then turned back in. So we gained about 3 3/4 of an inch in there. So we'll build a cool bracket that, not those nuts, sorry, a cool bracket that hits these ones up here and grabs all of our hoses and just keeps them out of the way. They actually used to be literally about that close to the header before. And that lava wrap stuff is just amazing. It never even heard it. So that's where we're at right now. Like I said, we've reached the point where I'm ready to move on to something else and take a break from this for a little bit. Like this. Now I'm a little more fired up on making some videos. I love that race Jeep, don't get me wrong. That thing for the last 3 or 4 years has been a project that just keeps going. And it's cool. It's a cool rig. I love driving it. It's a fun build, but it's just so much work, you know what I'm saying? So now we're on to some American freaking muscle, right? 568 cubic inch big block Chevrolet, single dominator. Got a set of stainless steel freedom flutes off both sides. One of the coolest things about this car is I've had this since I was 15 and I'm 44. It's been with me pretty much my whole life. My dad bought this car, I think I was around 11, and I remember riding to church in this. I rode to school in this, went to baseball games. We did everything in this car, and I hated it. I absolutely hated it when I was a kid. It was gold, brown interior, it was slow, 2-barrel 307. I hated it. Then as I started getting older, I started to like it. And lo and behold, I ended up getting it when I was 15. And the very first modification I did is I ripped that big, heavy cast iron 2-barrel intake off, put an Edelbrock intake on it with a little Holley 650, took it out. Camshaft was flat by the end of Friday night. So, and here we are. We're still building motors for it. We're still doing stuff. We're still changing things. But got it back in the shop for hopefully the last time before we fire it and drive it with an upgrade that it has now. So originally it was a Turbo 350. It's had Turbo 400s in it. It's had Turbo 350s. It's had Power Glides. Now it's a Jericho 4-speed. 3 pedals to the deck, rowing gears, Grumpy Jenkins style. I can't wait. I am so excited to have this car back in here and to just get it running. And my son and my daughter both drag race, and we've actually raced all 3 of our cars together. The junior drag race, we've bracket raced this one. We did that for a couple years with all 3. Ton of work. That's why I parked this one, focus on them, and thought, if I put a 4-speed in it, I won't be apt to take it out every bracket week, and I'll just go hit some stick shift stuff. Well, then if I put a bigger big block in it, then I'll be apt to not race it as much. So here we are, bigger big block, 4-speed, and it's time to get it done. So This video is just basically an update of where we were on the 1311. We will definitely continue to film all of that, but for right now, we're taking a break from that one and we're going to start on this one. And there will be, hands down, plenty of not knowing what we were doing on this and definitely not being professionals. But hey, man, that's how you learn, right? That's how you have fun.